This guy's toast.
Today we're doing some kind of coding meme with Toast. For those of you who don't know, Toast used to program computers as well. And I also used to, and currently program computers. Alright, what were you hoping to do?
I was thinking we could just Google, like, coding challenges, because they have a lot of those, and just, like, go through some easy ones.
Alright, yeah. So, did you graduate college with software development? Because I sure didn't.
Have you heard of 3-year degrees?
No.
It's a thing in Canadian university. I found out as I was about to drop out, because I knew I was going to fail.
Yeah.
But I had enough credits for a 3-year degree.
To say you had a 3-year degree.
And I would later learn that this wasn't a thing around the world, because I wanted to work in the States, and I was Googling 3-year degree visa, but it's a math degree, because I was originally in computer science, and it was really hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
It is difficult.
When you don't attend any classes.
Yeah, I know that is.
Have you ever interviewed for coding jobs?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Do they make you do like challenges, optimization?
No, I've never been at like a big company where they have people who know how to ask those questions.
Ah.
Yeah. Have you?
So
I've had some bad ones.
It's
though.
my first year. I'm just interviewing for a bunch of positions. And I was terrible at coding back then. Like absolute terrible. And they want me to write a function. If there was 100 lockers, write a function to go through each one and like check something. So I wrote a function, but it was just for locker 1. And they asked me, okay, how would you repeat this 100 times? And the right answer is you just write a for loop.
For loop for like
Write a
100
loop
with
and
100.
repeat it 100 times.
Yeah.
I said,
Man.
just copy and paste
No,
it.
no.
Just copy and paste it 100 times.
So that happened in the coding interview?
Yeah, in the interview. And then they're trying to make me get it. They're like, okay, if that is gonna work, but let's
how
say,
could we make it more efficient?
They say, what if we want to do it for 1,000 lockers? I said, just do it.
That's some good shit.
You know, I didn't get a job.
I've had my fair share of bad coding interviews. When I moved to Oahu, a different island than I grew up on, I was applying for this job, and the job description was for a C# developer, which I was at the time like very familiar with. Also, I didn't know this, but in Hawaii, this was very embarrassing. They like the formal attire is like a Hawaiian shirt, like tucked into like casual pants.
Okay.
That's like what you go to work as in Hawaii. For any place where you have to dress fancy, you dress like that.
Okay.
Yeah, like the mayor, the fucking governor dresses like that. So I walked in with a full suit and tie, and everyone was looking at me weird because, you know, 1, I look like I'm 15 years old, and 2, I'm in a full suit and tie. And they're like, okay, you ready to apply for the Java position? I was like, no, I'm ready to apply for the C# position. And they're like, no, this is an internship for Java position. And I was like, no, it's not. You didn't tell me this. They went through like the most esoteric Java libraries you could ever find, and I just blew the shit out of it. It was like the saddest shit ever. It was kind of the same thing where it was one guy who felt very bad for me, and he was like, so what would this be? Like, what is the security type of this? And it's like, man, probably private if you don't specify. And he's like, no, it's just, you know, undefined because you write it in there. And it went on for like an hour. And it was so sad because I left and I didn't have a car. And so I like walked home to my apartment on the street in a full suit and tie in like 90-degree Oahu weather. It's the most sad shit I've ever experienced.
So was the job originally for a C# developer?
I went back and checked, and it was for a C# developer, and they just misposted it. And the saddest thing was, the job application was for a company that helped other people get jobs. So they fucked up their job app. Yeah, it was like one of those like middleman companies.
So the middleman fucked up.
Yeah, the people who help people get jobs fucked up their job application. It was very sad.
Did you end up finding another job, or did you just...
That's when I started doing the tutoring stuff. That started paying more than like the jobs. I lived very close to a very rich high school. The one that Obama went to in Hawaii.
Okay.
Like
Obama's
president.
high
Yeah,
school.
Obama's high school. Yeah. That's the canonical name for it. And I just put up a shit ton of tutoring flyers and would like tutor the rich kids. Tutoring the rich kids, by the way, is just finishing their comp sci homework.
Did you make the flyer yourself?
I posted all over the internet that I was tutoring computer science. And I checked it beforehand. There were like no tutors on Oahu for comp sci. So that was kind of weird. But so I made like multiple different websites and Craigslist posting pretending to be different companies and different people. But they'd all funnel back to me. Like, for a very short time, I had a monopoly on all the tutoring jobs on Oahu.
Why did you feel the need to be different companies?
If someone goes to one company and they say, that one doesn't look good, they'll go to the next company. Checkmate, asshole. They're both me. And that led to the funniest fucking thing ever. One of the companies was just Michael Reeves Tutoring. And I was tutoring a guy. Sometimes I get really bad at responding to people, and I tutored him for a few sessions. He was a nice guy, but I like stopped responding to his shit because I don't know, I was like playing League of Legends or something in my little shitty room, and I got a ping from one of the other companies that he was looking for tutoring at another company.
Got it.
And so our next tutoring session, I was like, hey man, were you on codetutors.com? That was like the fake shell company. And he was like, yeah, man, I was just like checking it out. It's like, yeah, well, that's me. That's me. I'm also that. It's like, oh, that's weird. And he kept taking lessons from me. Yeah, it was a weird time.
I feel like to be a coder, you have to be in love, like
love
coding, like the act of coding stuff. I don't know how someone can
feel that passionate about it.
Of like typing code. Like, I can get, like, making stuff for, like, an app or games and, like, the product is cool. But, like, the...
just the act of typing
just the
text
act of
to the
typing,
screen.
Like, and adding text, like, that's not fun. Like, it's so painstaking and, like, frustrating when the code doesn't work.
But you type, like, home row? You know how to... Do you do it? Like, you don't have to look at the keyboard? Yeah, fuck you too. Also, you're not even fucking typing anything. Fuck you too.
Wait.
I have to look down and play. Yeah, alright.
Okay, so the way I learned is my dad made me type the ABCs 100 times every day.
That's so good of him to do. I learned to type from my grandpa and he just fucking like...
You do this?
Yeah, I still pluck.
So in Microsoft Word, like, you type it out, but when you Control Z, it doesn't remove one letter. Like, if you type a bunch out, it starts removing, like, sentences.
Like chunks, yeah.
Chunks. So my dad, after I typed 100, started Control Z-ing and seeing chunks disappear. And he's like, you motherfucker, you Control C and Control V, didn't you? You copy and pasted it. I was like, what the fuck?
You motherfucker!
I typed each one out. So when you type, you're just like,
yeah, this is how I type. Like, if I type Code Academy, I go... Code.
Jesus Christ! Did you practice with stuff like this when you were
No, God no. It was more like doing a stupid project on my own was the most helpful thing. So I started teaching myself like in high school, and one of like the first projects I remember is a program that took a chunk of text and like replaced certain letters with the word come. So I'd put like Shakespearean, and it'd be like, give it the letters you want to be replaced, and then give it the letter you're going to replace it to. So it was always come, the second one, and the first one would be like the word the, and I'd put in like Shakespeare's thing, and I'd be like, he.
To be or not to be, that is question.
I used to work for a bank, and I was coding their internal website.
It was epic.
Really boring. And I didn't really know what I was doing, so I ended up just finding a template on like codejungle.com where you can just pay $5 for a WordPress template and just replace everything with their logos.
There's some stonks shit. They pay you more for it. Oh, I did that same shit doing freelancing for sites. I just go somewhere, get some. I didn't even have the decency to pay the $5. I just get a free template, copy paste it, and change it to their name.
Were they happy with it though?
Hell yeah, they were happy with it. My customer service was great. And they were also a lot of old clients, so they didn't know the difference.
Yeah, see, my supervisor was like a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Zero knowledge.
That's great. I love those. Except for I had a very bad problem where I was doing like full stack development for a college. And I would change stuff on the back end. Like I'd hook stuff into the database or do data processing. And she'd be like, why has nothing changed on the page, Michael? And I'd be like, lady, it's because I'm changing stuff in the back, but she's like, yeah, but why isn't it changing stuff on the page? She didn't understand that you could do code that you didn't see. She lacked like object permanence. Like if you went like this, she'd be like, where'd you go, Michael?
Create a function that counts the number of syllables a word has. Each syllable is separated with a dash.
Oh, okay. But how would you in C++ count these dashes?
Okay, so normally I just Google Stack Overflow, iterate over characters of a string, and you copy it. Okay.
Oh no! Oh, you got a function in there. Okay, get those little curly boys out. Oh, we copy pasted the wrong thing.
Oh no!
That's a little long.
No, we should have stayed at just very easy.
My favorite thing about Python is like you just like solve everything a similar kind of way, and it's very bad for the computer, but you just don't worry about it. I hope that works. I didn't double check it. Oh! It's one fucking line instead of writing 3 functions.
You know how in jobs, once you complete a task, you just give me more stuff?
Yeah.
But they don't really care how long you spent on one task as long as you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
If they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know what you're doing, yeah.
I had my like interface, my coding interface up. I think I was using Eclipse. And I copied the entire text of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And I posted it into the console.
That's fucking gross.
And I had to look intense, so I read the book like this.
Oh, the hand. Dude, the hand is so important. Like, fuck, what am I doing? I'm reading Azkaban.
Harry turned to serious and said,
I would do the, I really like watching YouTube videos, so I'd leave my editor open. What I'd do, I'd mouse down here, and I'd have it be running, but it'd be running in tiny screen. So I'd watch YouTube videos in a little window. Okay. What is this? Create a function that takes a string and returns a string in which each character is repeated once. Oh, I'm having a hard time thinking of it in like without like a lot of helper functions. Like Python, I can do it. It'll probably take half the CPU.
so you're pretty good at Python.
Listen, man, Python's gonna be like another quickie. Oh, that's fucking it. All right.
Is this a Hawaiian thing?
Locomoco or Kahlua Pig? Probably Kahlua Pig. Yeah, it's some dishes.
Oh,
Locomoco is delicious. It's like imagine like a mountain of rice and then 2 hamburger patties.
Wait. There's bread and rice?
2 hamburger patties. Yeah, 2 hamburger patties,
Okay.
right? On the rice. And on the 2 hamburger patties is a sunny side up egg. And then on all of that is a shit ton of brown gravy. And that's a Locomoco. It's maybe like a full day's worth of calories and fat in one meal. But when we go back to Hawaii on a trip, we will all have this because it's a very Hawaiian meal.
So it's rice, egg, and patties.
And gravy. Yeah,
and
usually gravy. Yeah. It's delicious. It's kind of like a little soul food meme.
Full-time software engineer here. The act of coding and building a product similar to an artist creating a painting. This guy's fucking lying to me.
Rocking back and forth in his chair.
I'm an artist.
The poor software engineers and shit. They're watching this shit.